This is KGW News at Sunrise.
Just downtown, being downtown and not prepared, this is what happens.
A new downtown Portland business is broken into and ransacked just days before its grand opening.
Plus, replacing plastic with straw, a Northwest company's plan to make a difference in the environment by replacing plastics by reusing agricultural waste.
And coming up here at 5:15, Chris McGinnis joins us for another edition of his Driving Me Crazy series. This time, the topic is on-ramp red lights. You know the ones.
Oh,
the ones the ones that make you come to a stop before you actually hit the gas to enter the freeway. We're going to hear from some local drivers who tell us why these lights drive them crazy.
Lots to talk about this morning. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. We have to start, though, with Rod because there's some big doings weather-wise later.
Big rain push starts this evening, early evening through Friday. So take advantage of the dry time today. You won't have that. It'll be difficult for construction workers to be getting anything done, for example, until we get into Saturday. Radar right now, this looks more busy than, quite frankly, I was expecting. I don't think that's reaching the ground. But there are showers here up around Longview and down around Salem. We expect these showers to kind of get out of here during the morning hours. And moving forward, see a mainly dry day with a shower chance. Good visibility coming into town. We are cloudy, 46 degrees. The main rain push expected to come in as early as 4, probably a little bit later than that this afternoon. So at the bus stop, it's really pretty quiet. There's a spotty shower chance out the door, 45 degrees. Cloudy skies during the day, about 55 degrees when the kids get out of school. I have a lot coming up on the rain coming our way shortly.
I know you do. Thank you, Rod. Boy, sure is a tough break this morning for a new Portland business. It was supposed to have its grand opening this weekend, but thieves took off with thousands of dollars in electronics and merchandise. Alma McCarty talked to the co-owner of Drip.
On West Burnside Street in downtown Portland,
The whole time, this is what we've been worried about. Literally the whole time.
a broken window is now patched up after an early morning break-in on the corner of Southwest 9th Avenue.
It was a bad one. Yeah, this is a bad one. I got a text message from one of my partners, and it had a picture of the window just hanging out.
Co-owner Reginald Parham didn't even have the chance to fully open his retail store, Drip, before thieves got in. The grand opening was set for Saturday.
The TV was back here, more clothes and stuff was back here. There's clothes over here in boxes and all there, and then the cash register was right there.
He estimates the value of the stolen merch and electronics to be thousands.
You know, we're a black-owned business. We're just trying to get it started. You got to think, this is our clothing brand that we came up with and, went around the city doing pop-ups and all that, and enough to the point where people are buying enough that we can get the store.
After 3.5 years of selling chocolate dope apparel around Portland, Parham says it was time for a permanent home.
It's just downtown, being downtown, and you're not prepared. This is what happens.
Despite the burglary, he tells me he wouldn't change locations.
The city's making a comeback, especially right now. That's why we're down here.
He and his team hope Portland police can identify a suspect.
So you would think somebody's seen something.
Surveillance video from a neighboring business doesn't show much. And unfortunately, Parham says their camera system isn't online yet. But he sees this broken glass, this boarded up window, as just another roadblock, a small setback on the road to success.
It's always been roadblocks. You got to think, I came out here, I'm not from Portland originally, so the roadblocks that I was in front of, it's a lot of dope brands out here, a lot of dope people, and so just to work hard enough to even get to the level I'm at was so it takes a lot to stop me from doing what I'm doing anyway.
Portland police really aren't releasing much information about the burglary. In the meantime, Parham told us he'd like more security in the area to keep an eye out when he can't be there. His grand opening not going to happen this weekend. He had to push it back to early December.
A new report about Multnomah County jails describes the conditions inside those facilities as catastrophic.
Yeah, that's how at least a grand jury sees it due to a staffing shortage inside the jails. A grand jury spent the last couple of weeks looking at the condition and management of 4 jails in Multnomah County. A critical staffing shortage was one of the takeaways. Now, this has come from early retirements and staff burnout, and it's taking a toll on morale. The grand jury suggested offering hazard pay or assignment-based bonuses could be a way to improve staffing, maybe even hire back some of the retirees. Sheriff Mike Reese says the sheriff's office has already ramped up recruitment, hiring, and retention efforts.
Well, we are getting close to living with this pandemic for 2 years now, and some people still need a lot of help to pay their rent. Since August of 2020 in Clark County, rent assistance programs have given out almost $30 million to more than 3,700 low-income households. The nonprofits distributing the federal funds say more people need help than ever before because Washington's eviction moratorium has expired.
After that ended, we absolutely have seen an increase in calls of folks who are wanting updates, wanting to ensure that they have all of the pieces in place.
Last week, a chance for 800 new households to apply for rent assistance filled up in just 30 minutes. There are more opportunities to apply, and we have that information for you on KGW.com.
A first-of-its-kind company here in the Pacific Northwest is back in business after having to shut down for months because of COVID. So this company takes what would normally be agricultural waste and turns it into paper products. Keely Chalmers shows us how.
What if instead of plastic, those hard-to-recycle clamshells that hold produce or to-go food were made out of straw? Okay, not straw like this, but straw that is processed into things like cardboard, towels, tissue, and paper. Think about it. There is a lot of straw out there in eastern Washington and Oregon. Straw is what remains in the ground after wheat has been harvested. And to get rid of that straw, many farmers either toss it or burn it.
The carbon footprint of our process is approximately half that of conventional fiber making processes. In addition, we avoid the burning of over 100,000 acres of wheat straw fields by farmers.
Dr. Phil Harding spent 12 years as a professor of chemical engineering at Oregon State University. He's now vice president of applications for Columbia Pulp, a company that makes paper out of straw.
Ours is both the best and the first of its kind in North America.
In 2019, this plant opened near Dayton, Washington, in between Walla Walla and the Tri-Cities, the first in the nation to make paper out of straw instead of trees.
The sustainability messaging is certainly exciting with regards to protecting our forests.
Columbia Pulp partners with Willamette Falls Paper Mill in West Lynn to make everything from bags, bagel sleeves, to wine bottle wrapping. The company's in talks with a number of other manufacturers near and far to make straw pulp paper products of all kinds. A way to take something we have plenty of, something that would otherwise be tossed out or burn up, and put it to good use, while also saving some trees.
So all of this basically contributes to a more sustainable economy, lower carbon footprint, and a greater choices for consumers that are interested in protecting the environment.
Keely Chalmers, KGW News.
Well, this past weekend was a welcome sight for businesses in government camp. For the first time this fall, they got some pretty significant snow, about 7 inches. Some of that has melted off since, but we talked to a couple of employees at the Mount Hood Brewing Company who said it was so busy, they had a line out the door.
It's definitely an exciting time. We're expected to have a heavy snowfall this year. And I think it's encouraging just to see people wanting to get outside and wanting to engage and get together again.
Yeah, businesses in government camp really optimistic about the forecast, but they are still having a really hard time filling positions. We talked to Mount Hood Brewing and the Huckleberry Inn, where they say it has been a struggle to find workers. Many have had to scale back their hours, only being able to open 4 days a week instead of 7. All right, Rod, you were just saying that, they got that great snow last weekend, but it's going to be too warm with this next storm.
Yeah, you know what makes snow disappear quickly? Warm temperatures and heavy rain. Yeah. And that's what they're going to be getting the next couple of days up there. So could be, well, I don't know. I don't like to use the word dangerous, but it could be dangerous driving up in the Cascades on Friday and Saturday, because certainly tomorrow and Friday, because with heavy rain coming down, there will be high water spots. There could be some mudslide issues in the mountains where some 6 to 12 inches of rain could fall. So, I wouldn't want to be making that drive unless you absolutely have to. So, Just keep advised on weather conditions. This heavy rain event starts tonight, goes through Friday night. Here's the flow pattern setting up in the Pacific behind me. There are some showers on the radar this morning. Now, overall, we expect a mainly dry day, if you will, until we get until about 4 o'clock this afternoon. Here's Futurecast 10 o'clock this morning. Pretty quiet. Here comes the first wave of rain at 4:30, pushing inland. And then look at all the bright colors. So fairly steady rain overnight tonight with absolute numerous heavy rain pockets expected. Here we are at 11:30. Now, if you watch Futurecast carefully right now, it's taking the heavy rain amounts north, and it kind of drops them south. And then it pushes them back up to the north. Here we are Friday at 5 a.m. With more heavy rain coming through the day on Friday itself. So the totals to our updated forecast from this evening through Friday night: 1.5 to 3 inches, 2.5 to 5 at the coast, the mountains 6 to 12. That would produce some river flooding in the usual river locations, high water spots, mudslides over burn scars, absolutely a concern. The good news is the forecast models that have come out they've actually produced lower numbers than the ones that came out yesterday. So, we'll see how much rain we pick up. Here are the early morning numbers: 46 in Portland, 25 out in Baker City. It will be a completely dry day east of the Cascades. Look how warm it's going to get with the rain. 50 tonight, 60 tomorrow, 56 Friday morning, 64 Friday. Saturday still looks dry. Sunday morning still looks dry. Showers pick up Sunday afternoon to another front on Monday, and that's your forecast.
7 days and 7 seconds from Rodney Hill. Nicely done there, Rod. This is what's coming up next here on Sunrise. Red lights on freeway on-ramps. They are the focus of this morning's Driving Me Crazy segment from Chris McGinnis. Part of Chris's story is ODOT's explanation for why those lights exist in the first place. That's coming up here in about 5 minutes. But first, our National Verify team looks into online claims that volcanoes, not people, but volcanoes, are the primary reason behind CO2 emissions. That story is next, right after this quick break.